Hi. So, one thing that can be really useful to think about when you're starting a fitness routine or a health routine is getting a baseline of where you're starting from now. And I call that your bare minimum. So, you want to maybe sit down and actually think about over the past week, over the past month, what you've been doing. And this may have been involved like using a week or so of tracking. So, finding your bare minimum, an honest bare minimum, will help you in tracking where you want to go forward, right? So, if you sit down or you take a week and you plot out what your routine is right now, um, that is what I would consider to be your bare minimum. Because if you are setting goals to be healthier, then you're gonna obviously you're gonna want to progress on things where you are. So maybe you track things for a week and you realize, oh, so every day I'm walking, anywhere between 2,500 steps to 5,000 steps, depending on what I have going on that day. And then maybe twice a week, I go to the gym and I do the elliptical for 30 minutes. And then I do like 10 minutes of strength training. And that's my bare minimum. That's like all I'm doing right now. And that's where I am right now. So if that was the case, I would ask you, well, okay, so let's start with your activity or your steps. So how much are you getting in right now? You say between 25,000 and 5,000. So is there any way that you can get in 5,000 steps every day? Is that possible for that to be our progress for the week, to go from 2,500 to 5,000 on some days? And on other days, the 5,000 is your standard. Like maybe on a Saturday, you're more active, you're up and about, and you're getting in 5,000. Is that possible? To aim for 5,000 a day, and that to be your bare minimum. And then, something like the gym. Is it possible that instead of doing 30 minutes of elliptical and then 10 minutes of strength, well, could you go to the gym every day and do 30 minutes of cardio and maybe 15 minutes of strength and build on that a little bit? So having an idea of that bare minimum place, that sort of the lowest level, and upping it or equalizing it so that every day you're doing as much as you can, that is probably where we would start, so that you're creating more of an equilibrium or a higher base level of where you are currently. So that's something that you'd want to consider. Another way that this is really helpful is your bare minimum. There are seasons in our life where things get really, really busy. Summertime sometimes throws a wrench into people's plans, or around the holidays. October to December can be really, really busy. And it feels overwhelming to consider that you're going to really be on it. And we put a lot of pressure on ourselves over the holidays, right? Some of us do, to be really, really, really on it, active, not gain the 10 pounds over the holidays that most of the population tends to gain. And so that's another place where the bare minimum, an honest bare minimum, can be really helpful. So if you said, okay, during this really, really crazy season where my schedule is not normal, maybe the weekends don't feel like mine anymore, and I'm out in the evenings, I've got a holiday party, a work party, and my spouse's holiday work party, and things just feel really, really busy. You want to think, what's my bare minimum? Like, what is it that I really, really need to stick with, no matter what? I really need to stick with this. So in those cases, maybe it's like, I don't always hit the gym, but I'm going to go for a 30-minute brisk walk every day, no matter what. No matter what, whether I come home late from work, whether I have to wake up early in the morning, whether I have to get on the treadmill, whatever, or do a bike at home, whatever it is, I'm going to do 30 minutes of cardio, and I'm going to aim for 15 minutes of strength every day through the holidays, no matter what. Like, what is your bare minimum? And if you don't have that set in stone, that's when the wheels come off, because every day feels like an exception. Every day feels too busy. Every day feels impossible, and there's just not enough time. When the reality is you probably do have the time to get it done. It's just not being prioritized. So having that kind of a really concrete expectations of your bare minimum, where you stand, how you're not going to let things fall apart, you're not going to let the wheels come off, you're not going to let a whole week go by where you do nothing, is really, really crucial in order to build your fitness life, so that you don't end up at the end of that busy season feeling like, oh my gosh. I used to have a client who was a accountant, and during tax season, she actually scheduled her visits to see me more often. So instead of seeing me once or twice a week, she saw me 3 to 4 times a week during that busy season, because she knew that if she didn't do that, that the wheels would come off, and all of that progress that she had made throughout the whole rest of the year would be gone. So from January through until like the end of April, she just came to see me more often. And I don't really remember her being having a problem with canceling often. I think that she really stuck to her guns, and she got through that whole season really, really well. So that's something that you want to think about, like your bare minimum, and your bare minimum building off of where you currently are, right? Like, is this your bare minimum? Is your bare minimum maybe 50% of where you were last week? Maybe a little bit of an increase, and setting really concrete expectations for yourself, so that when things get really crazy, you always have that really strong foundation and understanding that this is the way it is, this is my bare minimum, and I'm always going to have, somewhere 30, 40, 50 minutes where I need to prioritize my exercise, okay? So, like I said in the beginning, it just takes maybe some monitoring it for a week or two, sort of making a journal and writing down how many steps you're getting in, what your exercise routine is like, and then can you add 50% to that the following week? And then maybe 50% to that, and progress your way through so that you end up fitter in 6 months, which is the goal, right? Okay, so that is it. So I'd love for you to post below. Do you have a bare minimum? What is your bare minimum? Where do you draw the line? Is there something that you are unwilling to give up or unwilling to not do? Is there something, are you on a streak of some sort? Have you gone a certain amount of time really dialed in and really achieving your goals, so that at the end of 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you're like, oh my gosh, I did it. That was amazing. And your bare minimum, what is your bare minimum? What will you never sacrifice in order to maintain a healthy life? Okay, that's it. My name is June Melia, and I've been working in fitness for 25 years. Health and fitness for 25 years. I have been a certified personal trainer for that long, and I earned my master's degree in athletic training. So I'd love it if you'd post below, and I look forward to reading all about it. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.